Welcome back to Zoran's Dice and Darts. Show number 2 is going to be about the history of darts, but don't worry, next week we will have opening day, so we'll have a little preview at the end of this show. Dice, the word dice comes from the French word die, D-I-E, or the Latin word datum, D-A-T-U-M, which means something which is given or played. People have always been fascinated with the probability of darts, throwing something. And there is evidence that many cultures have played dice and even manufactured cube dice from a very early part of civilization, such as Scotland, Greece, Rome, India, Iraq, Japan, and so on and so forth. At first, they may have, used some rocks or stones or little sticks, but eventually they realized the cube itself is the best way to play the probability a game of dice. So they started getting really serious. They started using good wood or good bones or the terracotta fire process of clay so that they could make the dice pretty good. And what they realized too about the dice is the pips. They realized, every little bit of a marking has an effect on the balance and equality. So they come up with the 7 rule. That means if you have a 6 on one side, the back side is 1, adds up to 7. If you have a 3 on one side, the backside is going to be a 4, adds up to 7. Now the balance is even better, improved. But it wasn't until 1450 that Europe decided to put a decree to manufacture dice or standardize the manufacture of dice so that the 7 rule always applied. So that's how dice are made, by using that 7 rule. And they continued in popularity, but in the 1800s, the casinos came out everywhere, and the dice use and playing games of dice became even more popular, right? So you still have the home playing and social gatherings, but now you have the casino gathering. So that gets us to this point. Today, how do we manufacture dice? Generally speaking, the dice they make today are broken into 2 types. The first type is the casino types, the precision types. The precision ones are the ones that are used in casinos. They're bigger and they square it off pretty much every time. Then there's non-precision types. These are like the smaller ones, right? And some of them can be squared off, or some of them can even have rounded corners. But the main thing is both types are actually legal. They're balanced. They work really good. The chemicals that they use are a little different for each one. For the precision types, the chemical is called cellulose acetate. For the non-precision type, they're called polymethyl methacrylate. And when they dry, now they have to buffer it and polish it and balance it. So what they do is first when they decide on a color, after the mold hardens and dries, they decide on a color, so they dip it into the color of their choice, red, green, whatever. But when it comes out, now it has to dry. Now it has to be finished off and polished. So they use a soft or a harder, stronger abrasive agent at the beginning to get all the excess off. But then they finish it off with a softer abrasive agent. Then at the very end, they double check everything, make sure it's smooth, polished, and balanced. So now that we have the dice ready, let's talk about opening day next week, show number 3. Okay, the dice are ready. I can't wait for next week, the opening game of the 2026 baseball season. In the future, I may also do football, the other sports, whatever. But for now, I'm doing the baseball. And next week will be the opening day game at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Our cameras will be there. In order for you to find out what is the opening day game, what 2 teams play, you need to tune in to show number 3, and you will see what 2 teams are going to play the opening day game. Also, if you have a preference, like out of the 12 dice teams, which 2 teams do you want to see play on opening day? But tune in next week or the next show to see which one we pick. I also want to invite the audience to the Dart League teams, which is coming up eventually, right? We have 12 dart teams here, but they don't have no nicknames. We would like the audience to participate. Send in your nicknames for these following dart teams, and then when we settle on the final nicknames, we will let you know. So this will go on for a few weeks or so before we settle on. So please keep that coming. Quick info on my dice playboard. I am going to have the possibility of having a triple play by the defense, an inside the park home run, things very rare, unusual. I think that's going to make it fun. And on some things, I'm going to have like the batter got a single, but he wants to stretch it into a double. The batter got a double, but he wants to stretch it into a triple. The runner on first wants to score from first on a double rather than hold up at third. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have the defense actually throw some dice too to see what the final result will happen. I think that will be fun. And for the offense, if you want to steal a base, you can call it. Say I want to steal a base and the defense can throw or whatever. Or a bunt. I want to do a bunt and the defense can throw and see what happens. Also, I want to make a comment about real life extra innings. In real life, they designate a runner on second base to start the 10th inning. I really don't care for that. I think they should do a 3 strikes and you're out, but 3 balls and you walk. So that would increase the chances of the runner getting on base and the batter or the pitcher having to throw a better pitch or whatever. So I think that would produce a different result than the first 9 innings. But I do not like that automatically runner on second. In my game, I'm not sure if I'm going to have anything for extra innings yet, but stay tuned. I haven't decided on that yet. So much for extra innings, right? Speaking of extra, a lot of the people watching this show have been eagerly waiting to play our first game. Our next show, show number 3, will feature the first game of the 2026 Dice Baseball season. If you like our show, please subscribe, like, and share. This is Zoran Sports, Dice and Darts. Have a good day, everybody.